What is up, everybody? Welcome to Andy's Crypto Talk. We're talking here today about a project that is one of my favorites that I've been looking at and talking about since its inception. The first day we were shouting it out in our Telegram and sharing it on our X platform and YouTube. Probably the first live I did was fairly soon after it launched, and I did shout it out there as well. So a lot of questions that have been getting raised inside of the Telegram chat and in the community with Citadel is that people are unsure which one to buy, and they're unsure about how it all works and what to do. So I wanted to hop on here quick today and show everybody first off that this chart is looking really good, and that we talked about this much earlier in this chart and during this whole dip, saying that nothing has changed, right? Like the plan for Citadel has not changed. It is the making of the first AI hedge fund. AI hedge fund. That's it. It's simple. We got shouts out from Jakey and Tony today. They were saying AI hedge fund. Let's just keep it simple, right? As we can see, it's about to cusp this all-time high here at about looks like 13.7 mil, and we should see it just continue on up, a lot like Griffain, which Tony being involved in, and Citadel itself is actually using Griffain AI tech for what it's doing, right? For the hedge fund to make profits, which we already have. We have seen that in the first few weeks, that the bot itself, the AI bot running on Griffain technology, the hedge fund technology that we're using, it ran up an account from a few thousand to over 12,000 within a few days. It was just some leaks. I don't think they've really divulged the absolute enormous potential of things like AI robots in the future here for trading. I think it's going to be a very saturated market at some point with that, because AI is becoming the tech. And especially in crypto, we're seeing a lot of crypto that is related to AI go very, very high in market caps, like Griffain here. And it is due to the fact that humans have emotions and these robots do not. So smart investors, they realize that, and they're putting their money where their mouth is. So we can see this is the beginning of the Griffain chart, and it looks similar to this structure here. It made a pump, and then it kind of went sideways for a while, and it made a pump, kind of went sideways for a while, and then suddenly started to break up in these fast moving green candles. I'm just going to show you guys what happened after, and it kind of dwarfs this previous pump. This is like a test pump, and this is the real pump. We can see here it ran from about 3 mil market cap to about 400. And I think kind of that's where we're looking at with this type of chart right now. We're just in the beginning, the first kind of test pump, and now we're going to see the real pump, and then of course it's going to take a break. We saw this one take a break as well. It went between 400 and 150 mil for a few weeks, from mid-December, call it, to end of December. Created this nice flag pattern. Once it broke out of that flag pattern, we saw another big move to the upside. Now it's eclipsing its previous all-time high, and off to the races again. We see these patterns over and over in markets. These new type of AI tokens, they have a lot of this potential, where we're going to see a lot of big breakups in price. So that's kind of the intro, and I just wanted to bring to you guys, you know, Citadail AI, the first autonomous hedge fund DAO. So there is a bit of confusion again in the Telegram, but I want to give you kind of a step-by-step if you do want to get involved in the autonomous hedge fund DAO, which is running on Griffain, right? See here, powered by Griffain. So, I mean, the vision was to combine the AI and the transparency and collaboration of blockchain technology to a hedge fund, essentially. So that's really, you know, in the long and the short of it with Citadail, that's what the OG token was about. So this token that we can purchase on DEX, you know, you can copy this address and head over to Jupiter and you can buy this token, right? This is the 7H5AZUDVJ. As you can see there, that's the token, right? So if you want to get involved, that's the quickest, easiest way to get involved in Citadail. Now, people come into the community and they see, okay, there's a DAO, right? There's a DAO token. People are talking about CitadailHF, which is part of the Citadel ecosystem, okay? So understand that this was a pump fund token, the Citadel/Sol on Radium, the one with 13.3 million market cap and 766K liquidity. Right now, as we're talking, January 1st, this is the one that was originally launched when the tweet went out, and we can see that tweet right here. Griffain said, I'm making a hedge fund called Citadel. Degen has been earning me some Solana using the pump.fun snipe bot, right? So this is when the idea came to fruition. The pump fund of this token went live. The community came together because this is a CTO. As you can see here, community takeover. So the community, including Degen, who led this off with that tweet, right? It got a lot of traction that day, and that's why we saw this thing go straight up to 13.7 mil. Now, it's CTO'd, and a lot of this was pump fund selling. We saw all the big wallets pump funding out, and now we have the top 50 wallets out. It's really time for this thing to shine. So part of this is the OG token. This is going to be like, you know, the main part of the ecosystem to get involved, but it is tied in with the CitadailHF token. Now, if we make our way to DAOS.fun, and this just went live, it was the day before Christmas, December 24th of 2024, it went live, and, you know, people bought into this. It was kind of like a pre-sale, you could call it. 420 Solana is what they raised for the hedge fund. So this is the in AI powered quant that is running on Griffain, funding itself to get this started so that the hedge fund can have a nice pool of capital to play with and manage. They did this pre-sale. Now the pre-sale sold out at 100K market cap, 420 SOL, and it did proceed to run up very violently in the next few days. We got a chart of it actually here, which I was playing around on earlier. So you can see here, you know, we launched around 100K. It went up to about 800K fairly fast in the first pump, and then it went sideways between 380K and, you know, about 700K, and kept going sideways like that, similar to what you could see right here. You know, after this major pump from the 400 to 5 million, it pumped up, you know, fairly fast, and now consolidating again, seeing another breakout in the CitadailHF chart. This is the hedge fund. You can buy a piece of the hedge fund so that you can get in on the hedge fund rewards by buying into the CitadailHF token. So I did hop on a It was like a live stream sort of community chat with the community of major, the buy bot, I believe it is, major trending buy bot. And so I explained to them, you know, if it were me investing in this, I would, you know, if it was $1,000, say I was putting in, I put in 500 in each at this point. Some people are saying this is undervalued because, as we can see here, the CitadailHF token 3.1 mil, whereas we have the Citadel itself up at 12.3. So we did see when this launched, it would have been right around here. So 24th of December, you know, we had a bit of a run up on Citadel, but then it had this sort of down move when CitadailHF went pumping. So it was the 28th of December when CitadailHF had this major pump, and I'll show you guys this, that it's very interesting that the 28th we had, you know, a little bit of a dump on Citadel. And then what happened? It pumped from about 2 mil market cap to about 8. So, you know, this thing pumping from 400K to 5 mil and then taking a bit of a rest led to the Citadel token pumping up here. So this is what I talk about inside the Telegram. I've been talking about a flywheel effect, that they are complementary of each other. So investing in one ecosystem, say you just bought CitadailHF token, you know, in the DAO to have a piece of the DAO, that you're still going to make the gains that are technically from this part of the ecosystem, the Citadel Solana Radium pool. So it's really just same as this G pool, the Griffain pool. You can actually, once you've bought some CitadailHF tokens, you can pair it with Solana. As you can see here, I could pair some CitadailHF, one CitadailHF to this much Solana, and then I'll get you know, 0.003 of the G pool, and then I will gain off this APR as well. So I'll be holding Solana, CitadailHF, and gaining from the APR. I haven't personally done this yet. I might do it in the future, but for now I recommend holding CitadailHF and Citadel in a certain percentage collaboration. Now, whether you do 50-50, you know, 60-40, doesn't matter. Whatever you decide is good for you, that's what you should go with. None of this is financial advice, and I am only trying to educate people that have questions and do not understand kind of how to get involved in this. So say you come into the project and you do want to just buy Citadel, come into the Citadel DEX, copy this, right? Copy the address, go paste that into your wallet or wherever you're trading, whether you're using Jupiter. I use Jupiter myself. You could be using Radium. You could be just using your Phantom wallet. It doesn't really matter. Paste it in there and you'll be trading with this pool, this 700K of liquidity. If you want to buy the HF token, the best way to do it is if you have a big bag or if you're buying a lot of this token, they recommend you come and do it through DaosFun. Now, that having been said, we'll go to Deck Screener and I'll show you that you can actually come in here and grab the contract right from here as well. So they do actually have this available to buy on Radium, but the liquidity is very low. 10K liquidity is very low. And that's why we see these spikes that have been happening. It's because there's not enough liquidity and the token is getting pumped to ridiculous evaluations where bots are basically just sending it back down. So someone who's buying a large amount is probably getting slipped and losing out on a lot of tokens that they could be getting. If you're buying like a small amount, maybe like $100, this is probably okay to use. If you're buying more than that, you probably want to come onto DaosFun and just buy it right here. You're going to connect your wallet. Once your wallet's connected, you're just going to come in here. You're going to type in how much Solana you want to buy. Right now you get 69,000 CitadailHF tokens for 1 Solana. You're just going to hit connect and then buy the token. So that's what I recommend. That's how I bought it myself. That's what I suggested to my community to buy on the DAOs.fun. It gets us volume here, and I'll tell you why that's important for us is because DAOs.fun is becoming like an AI combinator type thing. So it's actually becoming kind of like a startup for AI DAOs, and that's why we want to see us in these top sort of rankings, which we're seeing that. Well, recently CitadailHF has been up in the higher rankings. Again, you see AI16Z. They have this pool here, $2.48 billion. And then if we come on Dex Screener as well, and we search up AI16Z, and we can see they're at 2.47 billion on Radium as well. So in the long term, the two prices will eventually come to parity, right? So, this one might be a little bit lower, 0.01 billionth lower, but they're fairly close in parity. So that's why we say that, some people are saying, buying the HF token might be like a catch-up type play. But personally, I'm saying that it's a flywheel effect. If this pumps, as we saw it before, and then goes sideways, we're going to see that happen in the Citadel chart where, it went kind of sideways down after the launch of the DAO, and then it pumped majorly off that pump that was happening during this time, during this dump, during these dump candles, right? So very, very interesting stuff to pay attention to. And as far as the flywheel effect that I talk about, talking about these other big funds like AI16Z. So you can see here, this is kind of what happens, right? They have a net asset value, and we've been getting donations. So check this out, because we've been getting some donations. I think this Zana late donated, NAI was donated. We even had some Citadel donated from the communities that want some exposure, and this net asset value we have seen over double since the pool started. Now the bot, once it does get started, is going to have a percentage of this and be trading with it, and that's going to work into the flywheel effect, right? So we're going to have, there's the main token, then there's the HF token, there's the G pool that's, giving APR. That APR is culminating in people maybe taking in and out of the pool and buying more token. They have to buy the token to get in the pool. All of this stuff kind of flywheels together. And then we'll have the AI bot that'll be trading for us, and that will be creating more buy pressure into the charts. As you can see, 8.5 million of Citadel is locked up in this DAO. You can consider it burnt. So anyways, guys, this is kind of, I just wanted to do an ecosystem review and give you guys sort of a broad picture as well as a more pinpoint picture of what all this means and how you can get involved. Again, we have, Jakey's on board, Tony P from Griffain is on board. So I think we follow along in those footsteps. Well, we're going to see, again, some big numbers coming out of AI in the beginning of this year and moving into first quarter. It's January 1st. I don't think there's a lot of people with eyes on the charts right now, considering the date and how people do tend to celebrate at this time of the year. So that having been said, guys, definitely saying Citadel is looking really unseen. It's broken over this range. We'll do a quick TA because someone in the community did request that I do a quick TA on this chart. Even though we did one a few days ago and we talked about how we had this pump run up, and we're seeing this trend down that got broken. We saw almost like an inverted head and shoulders. This candle spiked down, spiked right back up. I think that showed that there's a lot of buyers stepping in, and this was kind of the box range that I had marked out, which it didn't really lose except for that one fake out candle. Once it reclaimed and then we kind of got above this, we came for a retest on that box, and then it was off to the races. So one more box I was talking about was up here in this 6.68 to 7.2 mil range, talking about that being a potential resistance point, which we saw flip into support very quickly and just get broken. Now we're sitting inside of this top box range, which I did mark out. So between sort of 10.28 and 11.74, I think that's kind of our last stages of resistance before our entire breakout. I think I did mark it out just from here because of the candle. I think it was the 1 hour maybe. Yeah, we looked at the 1 hour and we see this, there's been no trading up into this after this happened. So I think this was a point of resistance that we look at breaking through to see continuation on this thing to the box that I had drawn out of our targets between 14.5 and 23 mil. Of course, I think if it spikes 23, it's probably going to spike to 25. We have the 2.618 up at 36 mil, the 3.618 up at 50 mil, and the 4.236 up at 58 mil. So these are possible extensions of this next leg up on Citadel OG token. Yeah, this is kind of what we were waiting for a few weeks. I shilled it back down here in my Telegram group. If you want to get into that Telegram group, it's only $20. You just have to DM me on X. It's at Andy Beanstalk. Just DM me on there and we'll get you into the group. I've been giving lots of these plays out in the past month. I called CitadailHF. I called this after this dip. I said at some point here, I pasted it to my group. I don't know if it was this dip or this dip. And I said, this is a really good buy zone. And then we saw it run up massively, 20x, almost 20x. Or I guess 10x, yeah, sorry. Almost just over 10x from my calls, from my average of calls. And then, of course, Citadel, my first call, this would have been up 20x, over 20x, maybe even 30x. And then these ones here I was calling, throughout this time, probably averaging, maybe around 2 mil mark you could have averaged in. So we're up 5x from that, easy, 6x possibly. So yeah, guys, this AI sort of takeover that we see happening, if we were to go and just line up a bunch of other AI tokens, even things like Fartcoin, right? Like this thing's up at 1 billion again. What else do we have? We have Goatius Maximus. This one's finally looking like it's making a recovery as well. All this AI infrastructure, like we see with Griffain, like we see with Virtuals. Or is it Virtuals? Yeah, like there's AI XBT by Virtuals, 600 mil. I thought Virtuals was a platform, but yeah, Zerebro. This thing's pumping up again as well, 650 mil. All this AI stuff we see really moving, and we're following definitely in the footsteps of Griffain since we're fully supported by Griffain. We're supported by Tony P, supported by Jakey now. So lots of support from the Solana community. I urge you guys to check Citadel out. But again, not financial advice. I'll never give that. You just decide what you want to do with your money. This is going to be, I'm going to post this up into the community so everyone has kind of a step-by-step guide on how to get involved. and hopefully a little bit of an explainer to help sum it all up for you guys. But yeah, that's Andy's Crypto Talk. Hope you all have a happy new year, and peace out.